Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Makuna Man at YouTube with another modelling video. I am back from my trip. I thank everyone very much for your patience as I've been gone. The YouTube automatic scheduling system has worked absolute wonders for me. I was so impressed. I think I will continue it up. If I have a surplus of videos, they'll just be lined up, programmed and going up as I just focus on other videos without worrying about scheduling too much. I hope the content that has been posted was enjoyable. I'm fully back, so expect some regular Facebook content as well as relevant video content. It will take me about a week or so to sort myself out, re-motivate myself to projects that I'm near completion, and I've got myself involved in a group build, so you should see videos based on that. I'm absolutely back. I think I'm going to call this a vlog, probably post-Japan trip. I did very little to no modelling over there. I've been concentrating mostly on fun. I would like to talk a bit about my trip. There shall be some videos based on the trip as per past, especially events and locations, so that will be highly enjoyable. I will not be sure when they will be postable because a lot of the audio recordings of my videos are done of a night shift at work, and since we've got a large volume of shows occurring, they've hired an assistant to help me. This assistant is very very useless, and unfortunately I can't do non-related work stuff at work as I'm under not supervision but earshot of another employee. That all said, we'll talk about my trip. I won't talk about the more personal parts. I went with 3 other friends. We're a part of the same club, the Melbourne Mecca Workshop, and we went for various reasons. We generally stayed at the same hostel, ate at the same places, did our own thing, some news, some veterans. Hit straight to Osaka. We stayed in a place called Denden Town. It's a bit robust, a bit worn down. I find it to be a very interesting and fascinating area. It's very close to Denden Town, and that's sort of a mini Akihabara. A lot of second-hand shops. Some shops I buy online and I'm very fond of. Got to visit the area a few times. Bought a few things. Travelled frequently to Kyoto. Went to central Osaka and shopped at the very large and wonderful Mandarake. Just a lot of fun, lots of drinking, lots of partying, lots of checking out temples and touristy things and whatnot. Met up some friends. Went all the way to Tokyo after a few weeks of that fun. Lots of small areas around Osaka, so you can just go on the bullet train, Shinkansen, zip backwards and forwards. Fantastic stuff, lots of photos. Love old historical temples and castles and places like Nagoya and Nara and Himeji. Awesome places. There's always hobby shops nearby too, so once all that's checked out you always have a little peek. So I went to Tokyo. Obviously in Tokyo you have Akihabara. I stayed in Asakusa. Very close, not intentionally, it's just a fun and cheap place to stay in. Just down the road from the Bandai head office, or sort of the HQ flagship office. So walked past that a few times. That's always pretty interesting. Yeah, spent a couple of days in Akihabara. Lots of shopping, lots of second-hand shops. I'll get back to that one. There's a few notes from the last few times I've been shopping overseas. Nagano, which that's interesting. I'll get back to that. A few second-hand places here and there. I really trekked out and checked out some pretty bizarre and interesting military museums, focusing around from the Meiji Restoration to World War II. Took some great photos. I think I might actually share that with you guys for the people that are interested in the armour, ships, military side of things. That was a lot of fun. Met with some friends. I've got some friends that I knew in Melbourne that moved to Japan, hung out with them, and I got to meet again and got to hang out with very good YouTube friends, Japanese Sandman, who's been a bit inactive. He's not too sure about returning to YouTube or not. Twisting his arm a bit. I love his Kibale content, though he's very busy with things. Hopefully there may be a return, but that's just me nudging. You know, get into it, mate. Hopefully he's set up a Facebook fan page, so it could be some toy reviews, pictures, purchases, who knows, or at least just interaction again, since YouTube has gone all funny. And Robot Adventures, Ruben, got to party with that guy. Good fun. He pulled out his camera a few times at this shitty izakaya, and which had a little fun after a few drinks. That's good fun, so I'm hoping those videos will eventually make it onto his channel. Got to meet the actual Robot Adventures toy himself. Sweet fucking selfie with that, so that's all good. It's been some time between filming at the charge your camera and do other things. Shopping. First we'll start off with Den Town, Osaka. In the past few years, the first time I visited, very little change. Noticeable, best and interesting places to shop in my humble opinion, when you're going for the more acquired, interesting models, would be Jungle, the second-hand shop. Lots of resin, a lot of harder to get kits. Volks, there's a very big Volks. Generally a little expensive, though, just all the tools, products, paints, aftermarket stuff, a lot on offer. Some resin kits, very high end, very interesting. Probably worth getting one as a souvenir or something to try, because, you know, getting it home online outside of Japan is a lot more harder to do, especially those exclusives. Might be sold out there, as your Tokyo's much better bet. Outside of Den Town, Mandarake, in just off Osaka Station, in a large shopping complex. If you look up Mandarake Osaka, it's quite big, quite interesting. There's like a big stage with live karaoke, cosplay shows and porn and all sorts of crazy shit everywhere. I've always found excellent model kits to buy there. A lot to see, a bit of a gallery of glass cases of just all these interesting old, very expensive items. If you're just chasing Gunpla, I suppose, you've got Super Kids Land, the Gundam store, with a giant poster of a Gundam. That's kind of cool, not too interesting. Going to yes, Shizuoka. Shizuoka, shopping wise, nothing you won't find anywhere else in Japan. Shizuoka is the city of plastic models and has a lot of the factories there: Oshima, Tamiya, Bandai, Wave, all that sort of stuff. Near the train station there is the Shizuoka Hobby Center. That place is really cool. They have a Bandai Shizuoka special only kit for sale there. It's a large area with a gallery of kits and toys. You can take photos. The staff there, which I assume the staff by the Shizuoka Hobby Council, the people there, even though their English is not the best, super cool. They'll take you through, they'll show you cool stuff, they'll show you models they've built. They've got a big open workshop modelling area, a really cool gift shop just full of kids. The whole building is just, it's focusing purely on the fun. The staff there do not favour a brand or any of the sponsors that prop them up. They're just about the pure fun of the hobby. Flavour of the month is Star Wars. I think the guy's just absolutely enthusiastic about it, and he's just showing stuff that he built, that he wanted, and really, really cool place. The gift shop will have a few rare, unusual, hard to get Tamiya items. Very, very cool. I'll do an event photo gallery and show pictures from that. Tokyo, we'll go to Nagano. And the interesting thing is Nagano, the big Hollywood shopping centre, just off Nagano Station, is where Mandarake started off as a tiny second-hand manga store, and it just exploded and turned into this giant second-hand auction house toy collecting empire. and that place is really cool. There's just, once you enter, you go in the second level, the third level, bits of the fourth level, just tons of stuff, all these individual shops interlinked with other usual shops like cafes and whatnot, and there's a couple of like robot and other second-hand stores. All the other stores are a part of the one big Mandarake store, and there's like lots of comics and toys. There are 2 to 3 sections of interest. There's an entrance on the second level. It has a low door, very hard to spot 'cause it's somewhere in the middle. Lots of really old, interesting, hard to get military stuff. I saw a really cool American under 2,000 yen 76 scale tank. I highly regret not buying that, but it's very low on my regret levels. Level 2 also has an area where they got just tons of resin stuff. It's sort of, you see some Godzilla big monster shit, and in the corner there's just tons of Big Club and garage kits, and a lot of your Wonder Festival and garage kits and small scale stuff. They just have a ton of that stuff for sale. The stock was a bit thin. I think quite a few travelling modelers must have swung through just before I came into town and probably picked the place a bit clean. I didn't buy too much. On the fourth level they've got the Gundam scale modelling stuff, and again that felt a bit pick cleaned, but at the same time I feel that since it's my third trip, I've bought a lot of stuff over my career. I'm just getting a bit that pickier, a little harder to please me to buy stuff. I did find some bits and pieces. We're going to Akihabara. Now 2015, very interesting year. The Radio Khan building has reopened, so that sort of reset Akihabara to how it used to be a long time ago, and how I remember the first time I visited in the mid-2000s. Volks is absolutely massive. Yellow Submarine's got a big presence. Really enjoyed that. Bought a lot from Volks. The Mandarake is massive. Bought quite a few items. The Plum shop is really cool. The showroom. The Kota Bakir showroom shop is really cool. You just really have to explore the place. It's just tons of second-hand arcades where they've got these large glass cabinets. Choose what you want, you get it bought if you're into figures. If you're into model kits, there's a few second-hand shops that are multiple layers. They'll have 1 or 2 levels that are dedicated to models. If you're into the whole P Bandai thing, you'll find stuff. If you're into B Club, you'll have to hunt a bit more, but you'll find stuff. What I was really sad to see is Aso Bit City, which used to be sort of like a central, very important, a very big, grandiose model shop. 7 levels, now BB guns and models, toys, all sorts of stuff. That's changed. They're more into duty-free watches and electronics and stuff. The model floor was tiny. They had a couple of models by Kawaguchi and a couple of very famous modelers. Rest is nothing. Things have gone back to overpriced. It's not the cheapest hobby shop anymore. Didn't have a full rack of tools. Didn't have the Dengeki hobby booth. It's just been bare stripped back. Massive disappointment to me. Though with the Radio Khan being rebuilt, and the old building next to it where Volks and Yellow Submarine still occupies all of that space and has modelling spaces in that, that's really expanded, and I feel that Volks has sort of just taken over the whole hobby scene there, as well as the more affordable end of things, the Yodobashi camera. If you want your duty-free stuff, and if you want to just buy your Gundams cheap and stuff, and you want to see the whole range, I suppose that's good. Definitely go there for your tools, paints, shopping. And that's just a general exploring of the whole city. Shibuya, which you got to explore that. Drink, run around the bars, have a blast. There's a Mandarake. If you just go down the guts, so you got the big Shibuya crossing, and if you just go straight through the crossing, you just keep going straight. You might have to divert a bit until you see a police box. Turn right, you'll see it. It's a few hundred meters. That's very cool. That always has cool models, and I don't know if it's just not popular to visit or whatever. I feel it's cool. If you ever go through Kyoto and you've done Kyoto for the day, if you go about 100 meters past the train station, there's a large Aeon, Neon, whatever the fuck it's called, shopping centre, and they've got a soft map, and that's got a big second-hand section. For some reason, super rare stuff just appears there. I don't know why. When I go through my temples and castles and whatnot, have a peek there. Cool stuff. If you really do your research, because I stayed in Kyoto for a week once, there's a few cool second-hand shops dotted all over the place. Couldn't find it this time because I wasn't looking, but it's always worth checking out. Hiroshima has some cool stuff as well as Nagoya. But yeah, just generally those places I've checked out, had an absolute blast. Volks, I think, is where the modelling scene is all at the moment. You do have your Bandai Gunpla Builders World Cup and whatnot, but most Gundam displays are a bit, snap kits. Kids appeal. If you want to see a lot flashier and serious scale modelling action, you want to hang out at the Volks places because they normally get the top tier, what they call master modelers, and that's where their models are displayed. And you can just spend so many hours looking at the models, looking at the stocks and whatnot, and there's always really cool things to buy. And my second point of call for shopping to buying those really interesting items is the Mandarakis. Besides that, that's a lot of my points of shopping and interesting hobby related stuff. Events and shows, I did that sort of stuff when I was a Japanese Sandman. We went to Joint Festival at the Tokyo Big Site, which was half dolls, half model kits, half train layout and some other things I just was not interested in. That was all very interesting, and I actually just almost forgot before I closed this section about just hunting for models and shopping and whatnot. When you go to Kobe, near the Kobe JR station, which is separate from the bullet train or Shinkansen station, a good few hundred meters distance. Really close there, if you do your Google Maps and whatnot, you look for the Animate. There's a run-down, pokey Volks store, and they normally have a lot of stuff that gets sold out and quite rare to have in stock there. The models there are a bit more mediocre on display. I don't think they pay a lot of attention or effort into this store, but around this and the Animate and the Melon books, there's a series of second-hand shops. They sell some interesting things, so if you go out to Kobe, or actually what I normally do is I'll go out to Himeji Castle and I'll stop past Kobe and I'll spend about half an hour around the station. I just have a quick look. Found nothing of note or interest, but if it's your first time in Japan, Kobe is always a good look into the hobby scene. A lot of porno for some reason. But that's all said and done. So on this trip I bought stuff, nowhere near as much stuff as in previous trips. I think it's more quality than quantity. Stuff that came out and I just waited so I could buy it on this trip and not online. And I'll show you what I bought. So there's a group build on Gunpla Builders Australia, Barbaros. I snapped it together on the train travelling from Tokyo to Osaka. It's a 3-4 hour train ride. That was good fun. Again, it's just a snap kit. So that's going to get ready for some painting, maybe a diorama. Got into the Star Wars stuff. I shoved this in my suitcase just before I flown out. Just got the figures stuff. I got the ATST, the ships and whatnot. Not too interested, but I do like me some Stormtroopers. Do like me a Boba Fett or a Boba Fett. I love my paint chipping and salt weathering and all that, so weathering this guy like a tank will be a ton of fun. I would love to do him sooner rather than later, sometime this year. First Order Stormtrooper. I'm going to watch the movie soon, so I got an idea what I'm getting into. Sand Trooper, these are the droids you're looking for. I'm going to really get into the fun of some fantasy out there, my own version, custom of weathering and characteristics, and really going into the canon of the movie and whatnot. I've been hunting for one of these in the Super Fumia. The frame arms girl from Kota Bakir. Kota Bakir makes stuff in small run. absolutely sold out, not to be found. I know it can be bought locally in Australia, but not really into the whole parallel importing stuff. They get really expensive. Bought this second hand from a second hand dealing store. And the reason why I'm opening her up is it came at the Coda Bakir store, an aftermarket set that shows some flesh. So it's got, you know, naked hair, naked chest, naked torso. I'll be using some of the stuff from the aftermarket set and adding my own flair to this kit. The set was a bit expensive, but I think being such a hard, low run, hard to get kit, may as well go absolutely all out, being a big fan of the Mecha Musume genre. This is the Joint Festival Pass. I saw the passes and I was in the line with Japanese Sandman, and I was just going on like, oh, I really want one of those passes, man. I don't care if to pay money or whatever. And when we found out we could buy tickets, I bought tickets. We got them, and I made such a big deal about it. I've got my own one, but Japanese Sandman also gave me his pass. This is actually his pass that he wore. My pass is hung up in the wall, so I'm probably going to hang this up somewhere in the studio on my filing cabinet to be seen by the videos or something. It's really bulky. I actually think it's oh wow, it's actually a book, and it's a map. Oh man, this would actually made it a lot easier just before we entered the event. I wish I knew it had all this. Yeah, Japanese Sandman. Check all that out. That is an absolute big surprise. That is extremely clever, and it's got the little sticker, and they put these stickers on the garage model kits, meaning that license has been issued by that event for them to use that character to sell that model, which is very controversial talk about recasting and garage kits and licenses and all that. I do take part in stuff like that. I apologise about the box. The box I shipped it in came with some Hip Flask whiskey, and one of them got smashed. I ordered 5-6, I got a bit greedy, and it got smashed. The alcohol soaked in the box ruined it. Smells like a Swedish, well, not Swedish, a very sweet-ish whiskey. And it is of the 72nd, even though it's in the big 35th style box, it's the 72nd OI 150 ton Japanese World War II concept tank. When I heard about this coming out, I wet my pants, got very excited. Must have it being into weird paper Panzer concept tanks. It's got a World of Tanks sticker on it, and there's a few Japanese and other 35th scale fine mold kits that just had the whole box art was decked in World of Tanks artwork, and you'll have a picture of the tank that you're going to build, and it's actually sitting in the World of Tanks hangar. That was very cool. Thought about buying one of those kits, didn't get around to it. I did get a heap of Coda Bakir stuff for a friend, frame stuff, and I bought 2 Girls and Panzer kits, and I put in a cardboard box the last few days and shipped it out to him. I'm going to pick up those 2 Girls and Panzer kits off him. Won't show them in the video, it's just Girls and Panzer stuff. The L333 and the Type 95 from the movie. And this is really cool. I got the Semiosaurus, or however the fuck you pronounce it. It is absolutely massive. It's the motor wind-up toys. I reckon the model will be longer than this box. A little smaller. Quite cool. It depicts it as some sort of battleship. You just got tons of turrets down the neck and the tail. I think I could probably do something very, very cool. I do like my Zoids. I do make them very occasionally. I've got quite a few of them, but I always get hung up on the Gundam stuff, since, you know, the whole Gunpla Builders World Cup and Gunpla Builders Australia community and whatnot. Got this very cheap at only a few thousand yen because it's missing the instruction. Otherwise it'd be worth 10,000-20,000 yen. Very cheap, very cool. We'll get around to building that one day. Pile 2. Bandai LM or NAS Ava 2. I've got a few of these 1/35th scale kits of Avas and Angels and stuff. It was 200 yen since I've already got a collection. Yeah, it's LM. Thought I may as well just add it. Nothing special. This is very cool. I found this in Osaka's Mandarake. This is, I believe it's Wave. It's a Sakura Wars Kobu. This is a very, very limited kit. Probably an event special or something. And the go of this is its special coating. And the whole model special coating. I don't normally go for these gimmicky models because they're expensive, nub marks, all that. Since it was only 500 yen, I jumped on it super quick. I've actually got a few of these models, but since they're very expensive, very hard to get, I'm a bit standoffish in building it. I actually feel like building that very soon. Talked about the Plum showroom, and when I went there, it was really cool. The staff was really friendly. Had an absolute all. Loved the look of their kits and the airbrushing of the kits. And I bought, it's based off a video game, the Assault Suit, Leonos. Looked really cool. Bought it. Got little screenshots of the actual video game footage. I do actually remember playing it. Sort of like the whole Metal Slug thing. So I bought it. Looks very cool. I've seen Plum models before. I've always been interested. Always been hard to get to. Very expensive. Never jumped on. And coming across in the Plum showroom at below the retail price, meeting the staff, seeing the models on display, had to pick up a couple of things. Very cool. They make toys and other stuff, mostly based off video games. They also had this piece for 1,000 yen. Could not say no. It's based off some Wii U cutie girl golf gamey thingy. To me, it's like some sort of nurse or a maid. Looks very interesting. It comes all pre-coloured. Looks a tad less interesting in figure form. If I think of it like a resin kit and do shading and some fun stuff, it's fully articulated. I think it could be cool, could be fun, could be a nice, relaxing, mental build thing. And being at just literally 1,000 yen, it was a case of, can't say no. There you go, and you've got like the eyes that are pre-coloured and it just goes straight in the head, so there's no need of decals. And we've got this many runners for 10 bucks. It's an absolute joke. And normally with something this interesting, and you know, your whole interest in the frame girls and your Super Fumias and your Meki trends getting very popular. I did see these a few times in other mostly soft map stores. If you do come across this, jump on it. Looks very like a lot of good fun. The price, the value is just too damn good. And my first resin kit, the rest of the models from here on end are resin. This is a Bandai B Club kit, the J-Mark from Double Zeta. It's a very interesting, very strange, very ugly mobile suit. I actually find it interesting as well as its character. I always wanted a model kit of it and came across it. Interestingly enough, I think this project is actually a collaboration between Bandai and Wave, or Bandai and Kotobukiya. I think it's Kotobukiya. Very interesting. It was a bit expensive. I do admit to dropping some serious dosh on this to find it half empty, and I've put all sorts of crazy stuff in here, including a smoking pipe, and I don't even know what that is. And this is a kit that I absolutely forgot that I bought, F91 Grunt. I would have never have thought that I had it until I opened this. So there's like glue and instructions, and it's not a very big model, but it takes up a lot of space. And it's also got a resin figure of the actual pilot, and I think there is some porno propaganda in here from a game that I picked up from somewhere drunk, and it's probably best to ignore that. I don't even remember buying this funnel set. I think I'll put the big club kit back in here, celebrate or surprise myself a bit later. I'm really glad I found my pipe. I've actually got an interest in smoking and tobacco smoking, and I like cigars and cigarettes and stuff. And this is a really big Kitsaru pipe. What happened is, after the Second World War, there was a blanket ban on all weapons and guns and stuff, and there was another one during the Meiji Restoration. A lot of gangsters and Yakuza, they would make these very thick, flexy pipes that would supposedly just be for smoking, and I'd walk around with them on their belts and I'd smoke them. And at the back piece of this, when they wanted to attack, fight, kill, assassinate someone, they would just whip them across the back of the head with these until they were hurt enough that they would pay up or that they would die. A friend of mine said, how would you kill someone with one of these? I said, if you bludgeon them enough, you can kill them with anything. And this is just conveniently at your side, enough people, whatever. Bought this in Kyoto. Very, very cool. Now we're getting to some of the serious dosh spent. Before that, in one of those boxes, I found this, which I completely forgot. It's a Curls and Panzer labelled plastic cement. Probably not going to use it. Looks really cool. It's like $2, whatever. I'm very sentimental when it comes to that. A Volks mascot girl. She's a part of like a series of tutorials showing you how to build models and resin kits and stuff. And it's a chick with a hobby knife, and you pose her and around your workstation, and you go like, hey, you know, she's going to help you build models or whatever. She's quite cheap. She looked really cool, really interesting. Bit of resin to play around with. Now, before I went on the holiday, I bought a couple of very cheap Aoshima and Tamiya Japanese cruisers and destroyers. And Kankoli is a very big thing. I felt that I had to buy one of the actual Kankoli boxings of kits. This is the Fubuki, the main character. All it is just a sleeve over the actual Tamiya kit, which is a big disappointment to how much you actually pay for these models. And there's a decal sheet and extra aftermarket parts by Aoshima. So I'm going to be doing a couple of the Kankoli based destroyers on this channel. Build them, paint them, display them. So people who are very keen on the anime and want to have a go at, like, you know, making a fleet or a few models or whatever. I started playing with one of the models. It's not very hard. It's not very interesting. It's a different style of modelling, but I can assure you, cracking into one of these kits and building it, being Aoshima or Tamiya, it's not very hard. Quite easy to do hand painting or airbrushing. So we will actually cover that in a video, and I would like to do it sooner rather than later. This is a model or a garage kit that I actually bought from Joint Festival. And I actually bought it from the gentleman who casted it. It's a very interesting experience. I did actually have to buy it. It's a character from Log Horizon, the Ninja. And the kit looks to be of an exceptional quality of casting. And it doesn't look like it's going to be that much of a hard build. Excellent colour separating. I suppose that's what the current standard of kit building is all about. Interestingly, Japanese Sandman told me at Joint Festival the modelling side of things is about 1/4 the size of what Wonder Festival is, and it is the dream to attend that event one day. B Club kit, Mandarake, very, very cheap. That was very embarrassing. Porno tissues. I don't know if I was drunk and went somewhere, or I'm very lucky that didn't actually show any tits or nipples or genitals or whatever when it just flew out of there in front of me. So I suppose, hey, what do you guys expect of me? Very old, aging, rotten cardboard. A very old, statuesque model of the 1:144 scale Zaku 2 F2. You know that's my favourite high grade kit. So let's see what the resin model before the high grade kit was available stacks up. And being a cheap thing, I think I got no problems having another one of these Zakus in the collection. When I went to Plum, he gave me a lovely Christmas card. Girls and Panzer character, Volks cast model kit of the main chick. These kits are very interesting. I bought one or two online. They're actually all pre-coloured, coloured in the resin casting. And here we go, might as well show. It's all pre-coloured. And it's colour separated, so this is literally snap resin. So you cut the nubs off, you clean it up, snap it together, you chuck eyes on as decals, and your model's done. And you've got this flat, less than a toy looking model kit that you pay a lot of money for. Or you clean it up, you prime it, you airbrush it, you shade the hell out of it, you apply the decals, you put finishing mats on it, and it can look a little better. The point is, snap, it's very easy to build. The casting of it is just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Don't even know how they do it. There's no undercuts, very few joining lines and cast lines and all that. So if you're new to resin, you want to really get into resin, and I'm not an expert on resin. I'm only, getting my feet wet, and I'm building, my second figure, and I built a few tanks and Gundams and stuff like that. This stuff is really, really easy. So if you could go on the Mandarake website or the Jungle website or whatever, and you could buy an original Volks resin kit, it's really good way of getting your feet wet before you get into some of the garage stuff and harder stuff to make. This is probably how I should have entered resin and built a few of these and then get into the harder stuff. Instead, I just jumped straight into an E2046 cast model with a few faults and whatnot. Some chick from a video game, don't know what her go was. Really interesting. I picked it up, put it down, thought about it, came back a few days later and picked it up. So that's another Volks kit, be very easy to painting. The rest are B Club Gundam models, and I bought well under its recommended yen price. I've always wanted an MS Igloo Zuda, and I never got around to getting the styrene kit. So what do? I spend about 5 times more money and get a actual statue of the resin version, which I'm probably a little happier with. The detail of it's a bit cooler, so I'm going to have an absolute ball with that. Another one I got very cheap. This is an articulated B Club resin kit of a Kibele Mark II. I got this insanely cheap. Still big dosh. Close to $100 per kit. This one is an Advance of Zeta GM or RGM 79CR. I don't know how this differs to other normal GMs. I'm not a GM nut. And there's actually like tools and shit in here. I really have to go through all these kits to make sure that I'm not missing small treasures like this. This is very cool. I actually bought modeling chisels. These are really fine chisels, and you use them for carving out panel lines, and it does a lot better job than old style scribes. And this is the HIQ parts tape for making panel lines. So it's a fairly thickish tape, but flexible enough to go around edges and stuff. You lay down this tape, you coarse it with a knife, and then you use a chisel or a scribe to make a panel, and you can go around detail like Gundam legs and arms and Zaku shoulders and whatever. As a set square for cutting out plastic and stuff. And these are modelling support goods, Coated Bakir parts. I bought a ton of these armour blocks. I just find them to be very fascinating detail, and every time I came across them under recommended yen price, I would buy them. So yeah, I was actually looking at it to see if this GM was a little different to other GMs. It's got polycaps and stuff. Here's a picture of it. Absolutely complete. I kind of dig this colour scheme. This is sort of cool. The shield's interesting, gun's interesting, head's interesting. There's an extra vent somewhere on the shoulder. Besides that, you know, it's nothing too special. It's very cheap. It's probably going to be very fun to build. Bought it on absolute impulse. And because there's lack of box art all over it, this is probably an event exclusive. And yes, Hobby Expo C3, so this is not even a usual B Club thing. It was an event only. And we have a Gaza C, full articulation. I built the styrene kit, was not impressed. Recommended that maybe the resin version would be better. Now, I was actually looking for this, I'm glad I found it. Looking at it, it could be a bit of a challenge, but I'm up for it. I want to build more resin, more B Club original, collecting them. And there we go. That is all the model kits that I bought. 30, probably closer to 40. You might have thought I spent too much money, might have not, don't care. I'm on a good income, whatever. Last item that I did buy, and this is the most serious money spent, 40,000 yen ultrasonic knife. This one is 10,000 yen more than the other models I was looking at. The reason why I jumped on this US gadget one is the power supply. Japan runs on 100 volts at a lower ampage than Australia. This one can swap the AC input from 100 volts to 240 volts, so there's a variable power supply, meaning it can work in Japan, it can work in Australia. And how an ultrasonic knife works is you get a small hobby blade scalpel or X-Acto knife blade. You got these cutesy anime characters, sort of, and from a comic demonstrating how to use it and all that. And yeah, getting into it, it's a very small light unit. You've got this blade, and the blade vibrates at about a few hundred times a second or something, and because it vibrates very, very quickly, it heats up, it can guide through wood and plastic and all sorts of materials really, really finely, like a hot knife through butter. And generally what I'm going to do is use it for a lot of scratch building, opening panels, chopping parts. You know how I enjoy my modifying of models. Comes with about 40 blades. The blade looks very generic. The specialty thing is with an Allen key. It's just a blade of a certain distance with a hole in it. If I buy a blade of a very similar size, I could just drill a hole through it on the bench press and utilize it on this tool. So this is going to be very, very interesting for my hobby and modeling. I've always really wanted one. This is the major thing to buy while on this trip. Saved up a few dollars and just thought it'd be a lot of fun for my 3D printing and modeling. Thank you very much for watching and going through my unboxing of stuff that I've bought overseas. I always buy interesting goods. Some of the stuff will be put into my backlog stash and saved for a rainy day. Some will be built fairly effective immediately. regardless, it's stuff that's not very easy to come across, and I think I'll have an absolute blast with. The next video, being the end of the year, will be just looking back at the past 12 months, models I built, things I've done, places I've been, how the channel and me as a modeler fared in the past 12 months compared to the last 12 months. And first thing in January, we'll head into new projects, new territory, new models. We've got the 3D printer, we've got an ultrasonic knife, we've got the whole airbrush rig and series. I've bought in some cheap different type of airbrushes to muck around in the honing your airbrush skills. I'm interested in starting a few more series. We'll see in what trouble we get into. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time, I hope this video was somewhat interesting, even though it was probably a bit arrogant to brag about the interesting goodies I came across and the stuff I've experienced. Give me a couple of weeks to edit up all the video and picture footage of the hobby-esque stuff I visited, model shows, displays, whatnot. PhD man-child fans. When I was in Osaka, I tried to review an alcohol every day. When I went to Tokyo, it got far too hard. Couldn't do that. So there's probably going to be a good 10 videos for you, your crowd. And for everybody else, as you can see, lots of interesting goods. Who knows where the channel will head in the next few months. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. As always, until next time, and we'll catch you all later. See ya.